Live. How we doing, everybody? How we doing? Are we even plugged in? We plugged in. 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 Y'all know what it is, man. Come on in, man. MAGA Magnificent Monday, man. It's a MAGA Magnificent Monday, man. Come on in, man. Double tap, hit the like button as you come in, man. It's a MAGA Magnificent Monday, man. Come on in, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. You know what we do every day, man. But it's Trump news, Trump news, Trump news, giving Democrats the boo blues, giving Democrats the boo blues. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community guideline. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. How's everybody doing this morning, man? Y'all know what it is, man. Yeah, I'm live, man. We live on the Perfect Timing Podcast channel, man. Not enough people to hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell, man, and do it well and do it swell. Hit the notification bell and do it well and do it swell. That's what I need everybody to do right now. Hit the notification bell, do it well and do it swell. Come on in right now. Double tap, hit the like button. We're going to have a MAGA Magnificent Monday conversation. MAGA Magnificent Monday conversation. Y'all know what it is. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast with his MAGA Magnificent self. Hey. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Here, come on in, man. Come on in. Double tap, hit the like button. MAGA Magnificent Monday, another MAGA. Y'all know it's a holiday weekend. I know it's a lot of people off. We should have a lot of people in here today, man. We should have a lot of people in here today. It's a holiday week. Kids home from school. My kids home from school. Double tap, do you? Oh, man, that's the first person in the chat. That's the first person in the chat. That's the first person, YouTube. Man, I'm glad you didn't even show up, man. I'm glad you don't even show up, man. I'm glad you don't even show up, man. Come on, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. How's everybody doing on this MAGA Magnificent Monday holiday week? Holiday week, we feeling good. We looking good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, we got that Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Brown. Shout out to Shula Sand. We're going to start off with the Cleveland Browns. We're going to start off with the Cleveland Browns, man. We're going to start off with the Cleveland Browns, but you know what we're talking about. It's a MAGA Magnificent Monday, but I had to bring out my Cleveland jersey. Cleveland Browns, man. You know what I'm saying? Shula Sanders had a great game. Man, we getting it done, man. We getting it done, man. Did y'all see the game? Shula Sanders shines in Browns debut win over the Raiders, and I'm from the Bay Area. I'm a 49er. You know we 49er, man. So Shula Sanders completed 11 out of 20 passes, including a big score to Dylan Sampson, while Quinshon Judkins added 2 rushing touchdowns, and the Browns 24-10 road win, the team's first rookie quarterback, the first rookie quarterback debut victory since 1995. Myles Garnett led with 3 sacks, breaking the Browns' single-season record at 18 and eyeing the NFL mark. Coach Kevin, post-game speech, praised the group and gave game balls to defenders, but not Sanders, drawing criticism from Shannon Sharp, Chad Ochocinco, and others who questioned their omission. Sanders stay upbeat, hinting at bigger things to come with more prep time. Double tap, hit the like button. Excited this morning, MAGA Magnificent Monday. MAGA Magnificent Monday. Let's get the clowns up out of here, man. Let's get the clowns up out of here, man. MAGA Magnificent Monday. Starting off with the good news from good Shula Sanders, man. Shout out to Shula Sanders and the Browns. Shout out to Shula Sanders and the Browns. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. How y'all doing this morning on this MAGA Magnificent Monday? We got a lot to talk about, man. Trump news, Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Double tap at the like button, man. We know what we do every day, man. We start off with the Trump latest news, man. We do it all day, every day. All we do is win. Get your Trump hands going, man. Get your Trump hands going. Double tap, hit the like button. Shout out to MAGA. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Let the MAGA nation know we going live. We got a lot to talk about this morning, a lot of news. You know, we was live this Saturday. Did you catch me on Saturday? You got to catch me, man. Hey, this is why I went live on Saturday. Not only hit the subscribe and the like button, but you got to hit the notification bell. And when you subscribe and come back, man, go ahead and hit that plus sign. Join the channel. You can join the channel right now. We got a special $2 holler. That's less than 10 cents a day. For less than 10 cents a day, you can support the channel by becoming a member right now. Double tap, hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. This Saturday, we went live. We broke news about Zelensky. We were first at bat with the Zelensky news. You see the thumbnail. Great AI thumbnail. We've been going up with the AI. I put so much into the podcast. I do it for you. I do it for my viewers. I do it for my subscribers. I do it for my members and moderators. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody who tuned in over the weekend. Saturday, we got thousands of people tuned in. The chat was going crazy. We broke the news about Zelensky and the 28-point peace plan. We had to lay a foundation. A lot of you may have not even known about the 28-point peace plan because the Democrat liberal media want you to go, look, they playing peekaboo. They playing keep away, you know what I'm saying, with the real news, you know what I'm saying? Just like playing keep away with the ball. But we was on it first. That's why I had to go live on Saturday morning. Beat the Sunday morning news shows with the facts. And all I did on Saturday was present so many facts. So many facts. You got to go watch the show, man. Up right now. Zelensky says no. Off top, Zelensky said no to the 28-point peace plan. But I had to lay a foundation. I had to lay a foundation. When I say lay a foundation, I mean I laid a foundation of MAGA victories. Victory on top of victory on top of victory. It's only been 11 months. I have to lay out the foundation because I went through the 28-point peace plan, and there was a couple places in the 28-point peace plan where I had to stop. And I had to stop to explain to my audience what's really going on in America. How did we get into this conflict with the Ukraine? How did it become so serious? How did we get here? It is so important that we lay a foundation when we have these political discourse. You can't just get into this political. We're geopolitical. This is the number one channel. This is the number one channel, the number one place for geopolitical discourse on YouTube. There's nowhere else like this. Number one channel, number one conversation for geopolitical discourse. Get into the chat. Get into the conversation right now. We're laying the foundation for peace. Isn't this great? What a great Monday. What a great Monday. We are laying a foundation for peace. And this is after the 21-point peace plan. How many people know about the 21-point peace plan? This is not the first peace agreement in 10 months. Can we just say Trump is the most productive, the best president we've seen in the last 50 years? I believe Trump is going to be in the runner-up for the best president that we've ever seen. If you think about what Trump was facing when he took office, Trump was facing we were looking at World War III. We were literally looking at World War III because of the NATO proliferation that happened under the last administration. So Kamala Harris may not be black. Kamala Harris may not be the border czar. But what do we know for sure? Kamala Harris damn sure was the vice president of the United States. Can we say that for sure? For sure. But if she's black, it's okay if she's black. I didn't know she was black. She could be black if she wants to. But what we do know is that she was the vice president. She said she wasn't the border czar because of the issues at the border. So people give her a pass on whether or not she's the border czar. They said he had cognitive decline, but then they say no medical reports on cognitive decline. But what Kamala Harris did do is go make speeches in Europe without sanctions from the Congress, without sanctions from the Senate or the president, despite not, that's That's not the border. When Biden said you were the border czar, he didn't mean the Ukraine-Russian border, Kamala. See, this is the problem when you appoint the wrong person to be in the job. He did not mean the Ukraine-Russia border, Kamala, but Kamala took her happy ass over to Europe and gave a speech about NATO proliferation, claiming that the Ukraine could be in NATO if they wanted to. Did you hear what I said? I said, why is Kamala not the president? See, we have to lay a foundation for this magnificent Monday morning. See, you don't understand how great peace in these peace talks are unless you understand how close we were to conflict and how we got there. I know you don't want to hear. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Let's go back, way back to 2014. 2014. The beautiful black mamba king, Barack Obama. Barack Obama, the king of Wakanda. There has been a lot of talk this year about kings. Who is the first king, the first black king? It was Barack Obama, the king of Wakanda. Barack Obama, your black mama, the king of Wakanda. Yes, Barack Obama, Obamacare where? There is no Obamacare. Obamacare where? Obamacare here, Obamacare there. Obamacare is nowhere because it couldn't pay for itself. You know who Barack Obama gave money to? He did not fund the bill. You know why? Barack Obama, your mama, the first black king, did not fund Obamacare. That's why you needed subsidies. A lot took place under the Barack Obama administration. Do you know Jeffrey Epstein was released from jail early under the Barack Obama administration? People never like to talk about the details. I like to talk about the details. Who likes details? Don't we like details? I love details. Yeah, Barack Obama is who released Jeffrey Epstein early from prison, 6 to 9 months early, gave him his freedom. Despite being a convicted felon, Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to leave jail early. Every day, Jeffrey Epstein left jail every day. These are details we don't talk about because it happened during the Barack Obama presidency. So when Barack Obama was president, Jeffrey Epstein left early every day, got released early every day, and we got into a conflict in the Ukraine. But see, it wasn't just Barack Obama, it was Hillary Clinton. It wasn't just Hillary Clinton, it was James Comey. But we're going to talk about Comey and Clinton a little bit later. Let's focus on Biden and Obama because Biden and Obama spent so much time in the White House, so much time in power. Biden, 12 years in the White House because Democrats think that Biden deserved 12 years in the White House. They were going to give Biden 16 years in the White House. It's almost laughable, but someone said no, but they wanted Biden to have 16 years in the White House. But you want to call my President Trump a king. You wanted Biden to have 16 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 years. Biden had 12 years, 8 years with Obama, 4 years by himself. Did you know Biden was on the phone with a Ukrainian energy company discussing making sure Hunter got millions of dollars? Who remembers Biden on a phone call with Biden? Let me put it in. Biden on phone call with Ukraine power company during vice presidency, power company during vice presidency for Hunter. Did anybody remember that? See, we started the conflict in the Ukraine under the Obama-Biden presidency and administration. Obama-Biden. So My query seems to reference a long debated claim that Joe Biden, as vice president under Barack Obama, made a phone call to a Ukrainian power company, likely Burisma Holdings, a major Ukraine natural gas firm, to protect his son Hunter Biden's business interests. Does anyone remember this? Does anyone remember this? In April 2014, do you remember? See, I'm going back to 2014 for a reason. The Ukraine conflict was birthed. I don't think people know how important this peace agreement is. We're talking about a 28-point peace plan. Zelensky has been given a deadline. Zelensky has been given a deadline by Trump. A lot of you may not have known it. It just came out this weekend. We're talking about peace in Russia and the Ukraine. President Trump gave Zelensky a deadline of Thanksgiving, November 27th, and he presented Zelensky with the 28-point peace plan. Correct? The 28-point peace plan says some details, but I got to lay a foundation. I have to lay a foundation. See, we have to lay a foundation for our discussion about the nation. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap and hit the like. Double tap, hit the like button. How's everybody doing this morning? You're watching the Perfect Timing Podcast. Back at it like a crack addict, automatic like a foamatic, built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We're going to get this done real fast. Respect the chat or get booted out, and you don't get to participate in the conversation. Double tap, hit the live stream. Double tap, hit the like button. In April 2014, Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma Holdings, Ukraine's largest private gas producer, owned by Mykola Zelensky, a former environment minister under pro-Russia President Viktor. So Hunter had no prior experience in Ukraine or in the energy sector. So these are facts of the matter. These are facts of the matter, okay? He had no experience in the Ukraine. He had no business in the Ukraine. Why was he in the Ukraine? He had no experience, and he's on the board. He's at the highest position possible with no experience in energy and no experience. But he was paid thousands of dollars, $83,000 per month. Over $1 million annually alongside business partner Devin Archer. There are timing concerns with this, Hunter Biden. There are timing concerns. There are timing concerns with this. This came amid U.S. efforts to support Ukraine after Yanukovych's ouster in the 2014 revolution. Now, listen to what I said. The Ukraine used to have a pro-Russia president. The Ukraine used to have a pro. Can I get some help in the chat? Let me get some people up out of here because you're detouring the chat. We're having a good discussion. We're having a good discussion, and we're having a good discussion, and we got some people trying to detour the discussion. A lot of my audience skews a little bit older, so I don't think they like the trolls. I know the trolls are not my audience. My audience is above 40 years old. I'm older than 40 years old. My audience is pretty old, and they understand these are serious issues that we're discussing this morning. We're discussing the fact that Trump won 80% of the American vote because of this topic today. And I'm very excited this morning because Trump is going to get peace. Terry said almost 50. Trump is going to get peace. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Terry, Rock, Magic Johnson, everybody. Thank you for watching. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. So it's very important. Trump won 80% of the vote because a lot of people, the Democrats were successful with causing a lot of fear. We need the likes. Get the likes up, everybody. Double tap, hit the like button. The Democrats were successful with their fear campaign. They scared Americans, but they thought the fear would get them the White House. It didn't. Americans didn't trust them. So they gave the Republicans a bully mandate. They gave the Republicans the House, the Senate, and the White House. But the American people were truly concerned about the Russia conflict, the Israeli conflict, and other global conflicts, Iran. So right now, where do we stand with 11 months into a 4-year presidency. How many people who troll? I know a lot of people don't truly understand these things, but do you understand we're in a 4-year term? You know, I was talking to my wife the other day. I look up, I'm happy for Schuler too. I look up to my wife in a lot of ways. She's a very intelligent woman. I love her. She's my best friend. We were talking about politics. I was explaining to her how long people like Nancy Pelosi has been in office, how long Chuck Schumer has been in office. I was explaining to her how long a term is in the Senate and why senators are so powerful, because they have a 7-year term and then they can get reelected, unlike a president. So my wife was kind of surprised. So I know a lot of people don't understand the power of a Chuck Schumer and the senators who can be there for so long, right? And so a president has a 4-year term. Donald Trump is only 11 months into a 4-year term. He's a lame duck president. Does anybody know what a lame duck president is? You need to know this type of stuff as you come into my chat. Double tap hit the like button. Donald Trump is a lame duck. That means this is his 2nd term as president. He can only be president for 8 years, 2 terms total. But a senator can be senator for 7 years in multiple terms. Nancy Pelosi has been in office over 40 years. When Nancy Pelosi came to office, she was worth $3 million. She's retiring this year at $400 million. We're going to talk about Nancy Pelosi, and we're also going to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene a little bit later. She's also retiring, but we're going to talk about today. Right now, we're talking about the Russia-Ukraine peace agreement, 28-point peace plan. So what I just described to you is that I know a lot of you may have heard about this, but 2014 is when the Ukraine conflict started. So Hunter Biden was working in the Ukraine, making millions of dollars with no experience in the Ukraine, no experience with energy, but he made millions of dollars. Now, the timing concern is this. This came amid U.S. efforts to support the Ukraine. The Ukraine before, see, Hunter Biden, we got Joe Biden. This is a complex story. Joe Biden and Obama, right? They were the president. We had a pro-Russia president in the Ukraine. So we didn't have an issue with Russia during this time. But you know how America likes to play in the back door, right? This is so important when we think about Charlie Kirk and a lot of things going on in American politics today. Because you understand how America does things. You got to think about Hillary Clinton. You got to think about Omar Gaddafi in Libya. Think about really American and how America gets down abroad. So we had a pro-Russia president in the Ukraine in 2014, and we didn't have no global conflict, right? And the Ukraine was never going to join NATO, correct? But in 2014, you hear about a story where Hunter Biden joined the board of directors. Now, think about this. Hunter Biden, we know Hunter Biden to be a drug addict, a horrible character, and person who sleeps with prostitutes. But somehow he gets a job on the board of directors of the Ukraine's largest private gas producer. He's making millions of dollars in 2014. Now, this is at the same time that the U.S. is attempting, I don't want to call it a coup. What you guys want to call it in the chat? I don't want to call it that because we can't call it that, but the U.S. is attempting to overthrow the pro-Russian president in 2014, right? And this kicks off a protest and an upheaval in the Ukraine. And all this shit starts in 2014 when we had a pro-Russia president and no problems. But all of a sudden, Hunter Biden has a job making millions. And now the U.S. wants to kick out the pro-Russian president in 2014. The 2014 revolutionary dignity, which some allege involved U.S. influence. Listen to this. There was a conflict with Hunter Biden working in the Ukraine because of the timing. This came amid U.S. efforts to support the Ukraine after Yanukovych's ouster in 2014. Revolutionary of dignity, right? Revolution of dignity, which some allege involved U.S. influence, including from Obama. Okay, Obama administration diplomats, including George Kent, Deputy Chief Mission of Kiev, raised an awkward conflict of interest flags about Hunter's role as Joe Biden was the point person on U.S.-Ukraine policy. You cannot make this up. It is so funny how the liberal media leaves out these key details. that no one wants to talk about. They want you to talk about Epstein. Epstein is dead and was convicted guilty twice. Hunter Biden is alive, Joe Biden is alive, and 500 Ukrainians die every day until we get peace. Please listen to the details. I am laying a foundation of why it is so great to have peace in the Ukraine. Right now, this is the foundation. Hunter Biden and Joe Biden is the foundation of the Ukrainian. Oh, listen to this. A lot of people allege that the U.S. was involved with the Revolution of Dignity, including Barack Obama and officials like Victoria Nuland. You hear that name a lot today. People allege that the revolution in 2015 that ousted the ex-pro-Russian president in the Ukraine was created and designed by Barack Obama, Victoria Nuland, diplomats, including George Clinton and Deputy Chief of Kiev. This was an awkward conflict of interest because of Hunter Biden's role, and Joe Biden was the point president for the U.S. on the Ukraine. You know, you remember Kamala Harris was a border czar, right? Kamala Harris was the border czar, right? I don't need no paragraphs. I don't want no paragraphs. I don't want no paragraphs. I don't want no spam. No spam, no paragraphs. No spam, no paragraphs. You remember Kamala Harris was the border czar as vice president, right? Well, Joe Biden as vice president was appointed to be the point person on the Ukraine. Under Joe Biden's leadership, the Ukraine turned into a war. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Joe Biden was the point person on the Ukraine, just like Kamala was the point person on the border. Hello. And under Kamala, we had a border crisis. Can anybody disagree? Under Kamala, there was a border crisis. 10 million people came across the border. Trump says 25 million. Under Joe Biden, in 2014, Joe Biden was in control of the Ukraine. What happened? Crickets. What happened when Joe Biden was in control of the Ukraine? It damn near turned into World War III. Joe Biden and his son was stealing money. Did any of you know that Joe Biden was the Kamala of 2014 and that Joe Biden was the one who was the head of the Ukraine policy when all of this shit kicked off? So who is behind the Azov battalion? Because I'm going to get to the 28-point peace plan. Do you know what a major stickler is in the 28-point peace plan? You know what I keep bringing up? How many people are fans of the Nazis? You know what I keep bringing up? Denazification. I keep bringing up the Azov battalion. I want you guys to understand that Joe Biden was head of policy. The policy was to take a neo-Nazi street gang and turn them into soldiers. The policy was to take a neo-Nazi street gang and turn them into soldiers. Do you guys understand? I've been talking about this. No one else is talking about this. Joe Biden was in control of the Ukraine policy. One of the Ukraine policies was to envelop this neo-Nazi street gang and to grow their membership. I gave you reports here. I gave you details here. If you watch my channel, you will learn a lot about geopolitics. I said the neo-national Azov battalion started off with 300 people. When the U.S. got involved with the revolution, the Azov battalion went from 300 people. The Azov battalion went from 300 people to 3,000 people with American help. With American help and American training. The Azov battalion, neo-Nazis, neo-nationalists went from 300 to 3,000 and became enveloped and became legitimized. The neo-Nazi street gang and football hooligans became legitimized and became part of the Ukrainian army. The leader became part of parliament. This is all under Biden's policy. If you want to know who made the decision, if you want to know who was in control of the Ukraine and who decided to make the Azov Battalion football, racist, neo-Nazi football hooligans, soldiers, Biden was in control of the Ukraine policy. Huh? Biden was in control of the Ukraine policy. That is so important. Biden was in control of the Ukraine policy. That's so important for people to understand. Biden was in control of the Ukraine policy in 2014. That's how we get here today. So we go from a pro-Russia president to a comedian. Man, take off that jersey. You not in the dog pound. Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns. Huh? Huh?
Dad,
Hey, baby.
do you have water?
Yeah, you go get a cup. You can go to the water softener downstairs. Close the door.
Okay.
Hey, I'm doing my podcast. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Say hi, everybody.
Can I do it?
Okay, come on, say hi.
I can't see you.
Come on. Say hi.
Hi.
They can't see you. There you go.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Now you can say bye.
Hi.
You eat my cookies?
Yes.
Who told you to eat my cookies?
Myself.
Oh my goodness. Okay, go get some water. Close the door. I'm not going to do that long today.
Okay.
Close the door. And we're going to go for a walk.
Walk?
Yeah. You need some exercise. Miss Perfect Time said hi to the babies. McCarthy said we gotta make him a Democrat. You gotta make me a Democrat. You gotta hypnotize me to make me a Democrat, man. Make me a Democrat. Why would you want to be a Democrat? You know what the Democrats did? Are you listening? This is what the Democrats did. The Democrats caused the conflict in the Ukraine. So this is, and then they compounded the issue. So 2014, Barack Obama was president. Hillary Clinton is the secretary. She's supposed to be facilitating peace. You got Barack. These are supposed to be the three kings. These are the three kings. They're supposed to save the world. What did they do? They paid off Wall Street. They screwed us with Obamacare. They screwed us with quantitative easing. I haven't even got to quantitative easing because I don't want to talk ahead of my audience. I don't believe my audience understands what quantitative easing is. They don't understand the inflation and economics. So I don't really get into the economy. I still with the geopolitics, but we could also get into quantitative easing and what Barack Obama did with the wealthy and why wages are stagnant and why everybody is broke. But we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about why everybody is broke because of the Barack Obama administration, but that is so true. What we're going to talk about today is almost being blown up by a nuclear war. We could talk about being broke because Barack Obama did make you broke. Barack Obama, minimum wage stopped. When Barack Obama became president, everybody went broke. Minimum wage stopped at $7 an hour at 2008. It hasn't moved. Your wages, your quality of life has been stagnant since your black king became president. We're not talking about your favorite black king and how he stole all your money and lied to you. Because you're not ready. You're not ready, but you want me to be a Democrat. I can't be a Democrat. I got too many facts. We're not going to talk about Barack Obama and the minimum wage and everybody being broke. 8 years, he never raised the minimum wage. Joe Biden, 4 years, 12 years, Democrats never touched the minimum wage. American wages are stagnant. The only reason wages are being addressed is because Trump tariffs. And the American people have been dumbed down to not understand the trade deficit, the trade war, stagnant wages. Bill Clinton, when he sent the jobs in manufacturing, no one understands these things. We're not going to talk about economy. We're not going to talk about dollars. The MAGA dollar is strong. I can't be a Democrat because the Democrats stole my wallet. I don't have enough money to be a Democrat. You have to be a millionaire. I know I look good. I got the studio. You know, I know it. Where's my road, Mike? I know I look good, but I'm not enough. I don't have enough money to be a Democrat. I'm sorry. Nancy Pelosi, $400 million. Maxine Waters, millions. Gavin Newsom, oh my God. How many millions does Gavin Newsom? I don't have enough money. You see Jasmine Crockett, millions upon millions. I don't have enough money to be. I'm sorry. I'm a Republican. I'm a proud MAGA Republican. I don't got enough money. You know, I can't hang out with Jasmine. Jasmine Crockett has $1,000 worth of weave wrapped around her hair like a turban all the way down her beautiful body. I don't have money for a woman to have thousands of dollars. I can't afford Jasmine Crockett, man. I can't afford Jasmine Crockett. I can't, man. She's gorgeous. Jasmine Crockett, gorgeous, but I can't pay for all of that shit, man. I can't pay for it, baby. I gotta be a MAGA. I gotta be MAGA till I die. I gotta be MAGA and I won't cry, man. I gotta be MAGA, man. 2014, can we get to 2014? Can we get Obama didn't fix shit? Obama didn't fix shit. Obama wrote the Affordable Care Act, which is why Chuck Schumer claimed to shut down the government. The problem with the Affordable Care Act is it did not pay for itself. Obama wrote a bad bill. He admitted it was a bad bill. Do you remember when Obama said, I'm going to need your help, America, to fix the Affordable Care Act and make it better? Because it was a bad bill. It was shitballs. What do we call Obamacare in this chat? We call it shitballs. You know when you don't wipe your ass and you got them little balls between your taint? Shitballs. That was the ACA. So this is the evil, sinister part why I can't be a Democrat. So they write the ACA. It can't pay for itself. So then the Democrats get back in power. What do the Democrats do? They know the ACA can't sustain itself. So they create subsidies. Great. Let's subsidize the ACA. That's basically socialism. We're not going to tell the American people that we have socialized medicine because we want Barack Obama to stay the black king. We're not going to be honest to the American people that we basically socialize medicine by subsidizing the ACA, a shitballs bill. But guess what Biden did that was so evil? Biden and the Democrats, when they had power, they made the subsidies temporary. Why would they make the subsidies temporary? Why would they make the subsidies if they know the ACA couldn't pay for itself? If they know the ACA was bad legislation, it needed to be subsidized, basically socializing healthcare in America, then why didn't they make the subsidies permanent? Why didn't they make the subsidies permanent? That's a question of the century. Why didn't they make the subsidies permanent when they had a chance? You just had power 10 months ago. The Republicans didn't even want to work with Obama, and they had to in order to get it passed with help from the Republicans. That is a cop-out, brother. You know why it doesn't work in 2026? Because we have the big, beautiful bill, and the big, beautiful bill passed like butter. The big, beautiful bill is an example of proper legislation and proper politics when done properly. You knew about the big, beautiful bill before Trump even took presidency. You knew about Project 2025. You knew about the Heritage Foundation. They filed the big, beautiful bill January 3rd. Trump had only been president 3 days. He signed it into law July 4th, the 4th of July. We can no longer accept excuses from the Democrats about how and why they fucked up the bag when it comes to Obamacare, because the big, beautiful bill is $1 trillion behemoth. It's the largest legislation passed in 30 years. And no Republican whined and cried and said, we can't pass it. We can't pass it. The Democrats won't let us. We won't pass. The Democrats won't. The Democrats won't let me pass the big, beautiful. No, we passed it. We didn't bitch. We didn't moan. We passed the big, beautiful bill. The Democrats, why do you, Chink and the Young Turk said the same thing. Why do you accept these excuses from the Democrats? Why do you accept, I say error on the side of doing, they didn't even try, brother. They didn't even try, brother. They didn't even try. They made the subsidies temporary. They made a bullshit bill, and now you are stuck with it. You are stuck with Obamacare, and those subsidies expire in how long? We're talking about 4 weeks. We could have a real debate this morning. Those subsidies expire in days. Americans, 21 million Americans are going to have $1,000 hit to their wallet. This ain't no joke. Everybody trolling, this ain't no joke. This real politics. Right now, those subsidies expire right after Christmas. You go ahead and spend $1,000 on Christmas. You spend up your savings on Christmas presents. You better be ready. You better be ready, because you know what's coming in 2026. It's not just the fact that the subsidies expire. It's the fact that the big, beautiful bill went into effect on November 1st. The Republicans are not telling you about 2026. Do you know what's coming in 2026? The big, beautiful bill went into effect on November 1st. So it's not just the Obamacare subsidies expire and thousands of dollars in your premiums go up, but if you happen to be benefiting from entitlements, those go away also. It's going to be problems. It's going to be problems. It's going to be problems. It's not just the Obamacare subsidies. The entitlements are shrinking. The entitlements have 20-hour work requirements. A lot of people will be kicked off of WIC. A lot of people will be kicked off of food stamps. A lot of people will be evicted from Section 8. We don't have the tax base. See, there are less people working. There are less police officers. There are less nurses. Do you understand? There are less taxpayers, so there are less entitlement money. Doge shrank the entitlement pool. I have a topic on Doge today. Pay attention to the politics. America is shrinking. The entitlement pool has already shrunk because the big, beautiful bill already passed. Can we get back to Ukraine? I got a couple stories to get to. We got to get to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we got to get to James Comey and Letitia James, because they dancing. I don't believe James Comey and Letitia James should dance. I got some news. James Comey, don't relax. Letitia James, don't relax. I don't think you should dance. I don't think you should get comfortable. So just understand. Well, you know what I would say to Letitia James? You know what I would say to James Comey? We're only 10 months into a 4-year presidency. The last thing I would do is celebrate. I would not celebrate and tap dance with someone like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not to be trifled with. So James Comey and Letitia James, you better be quiet. You have 4 years. You have 4 years to worry about Trump and his DOJ finding another way to skin a cat. So if I was Letitia James and James Comey, I would not do a victory lap. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Right now, we're laying a foundation for the 28-point peace plan for Russia and Ukraine. We're laying a foundation for the 28-point peace plan. Save your money and start hoarding your food. You're going to need food in your pantry. You're going to need food in your pantry. It's not just your health insurance, but the subsidy. It's the entitlements. But the Democrats are not being honest to you about the big, beautiful bill and all of the changes that it beholds to you. Another MAGA failure. Well, here's a victory for MAGA. Bye-bye. So let's go to 2014. And how we got into the Ukraine issue with Joe Biden being the head of policy. So in 2014, Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma Holdings, Ukraine's largest private natural gas producer, owned by Mykola Zelensky, a former environment minister under pro-Russia president Viktor Yanukovych. That's going to be important because the United States and Joe Biden sought to get him out. Hunter Biden had no experience in the Ukraine or no experience in the energy sector, but was paid $80,000 a month and over $1 million a year, alongside business partner Devin Archer. There are very serious timing concerns. This came amid U.S. efforts to support the Ukraine after Yanukovych's ouster in 2014 on the Revolution of Dignity, which some allege involved U.S. influence, including Barack Obama and officials like Victoria Nuland, who you hear about today. Obama administration diplomats, including George Kent, the deputy in the mission of Kiev. This raised an awkward conflict of interest and red flags about Hunter Biden's role at that energy company, as Joe Biden was the point person on the U.S.-Ukraine policy. Emails show Kent warned Biden's staff in early 2015, but concerns were reportedly dismissed. The Burisma issue. The company faced corruption probes from 2014 to 2016 over Zelensky's Dylan's illegal gas license pre-2014. No active investigation targeted Hunter Biden specifically, and the Ukraine officials later confirmed probes were dormant under prosecution general. So after Biden and Obama switched out the new president, Hunter Biden was able to go free, and nobody at that illegal gas company that was operating under a false license got prosecuted. Because if you prosecute the gas company who was operating under a false license, then you might have to take back Hunter Biden's millions of dollars. The core allegation. So this is how we get to the foundation of what happened in 2015 and 2016. Hunter was CC'd on official emails about Joe Biden's calls with the Ukraine president. Did you guys know this? Petro. Now, in December 2015, on a call, Biden's Ukraine trip, on Biden's Ukraine trip, a Democrat PR firm, Blue Star Strategies, hired by Burisma, joined a White House conference call on Biden's visit and leaked minutes of the Burisma execs encounter. Right? This fueled insider access optics, but wasn't direct intervention. Did you guys know about this phone call? Did you guys know about the phone call? A lot of people know about it. So these are the foundations. Biden's role. In March 2016, Biden threatened to withhold $1 billion in the U.S. loan guarantees unless Ukraine fired Shorkin, who was widely criticized for not fighting corruption, including Burisma pros, which stalled under him. Biden later bragged about it publicly. This aligned with Obama admin EU, IMF, and Ukraine reformers' demands. Shokin was seen as protecting oligarchs like Zelensky. This is the policy in the Ukraine that led to the war. The political weaponization, it exploded. Trump allies claim Biden did this to shield Hunter and Burisma. That's what it looks like to me. Shokin himself alleged it post-firing, but Ukraine officials and the deputy and fact checkers confirmed no active Burisma probe in 2015 and 2016, firing advanced anti-corruption areas. So nobody investigated Burisma. Thank you, Biden, and Hunter got the millions of dollars and got to go free. Do you guys understand? So we're talking about the 21-point peace plan. Okay. What's up, Patriots? Designates everyone who is sick of the Uniparty bullshit. Welcome to the only live stream that still tells the truth in 2025. We are live, we are loud, and today the deep state just got bodied 3 times in 72 hours. Hit the like button right now, smash the subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because if YouTube nukes this one, we're going straight to Rumble. Let's ride. These stories dropped this week to prove one thing and one thing only. Donald Trump is still the most powerful man on the planet, and he's not even done yet. He put Zelensky on a 72-hour doomsday clock. MTG just hit the entire Congress on fire and walked out with a fat pension. $1 million, and federal judge had to let Comey and Letitia James skate because Trump owned prosecutor won't Senate confirm yet. The cult from the left is delicious. Let's break it all down. No notes, no filter, just facts and the based podcast of the land. First up, President Trump handed Zelensky a 28-point peace plan, and you got it Thursday, buddy. Sign it or the gravy train is over. So far, we've given the Ukraine over $200 billion, and Trump has said no more money, no more F-16s. Sign it or the gravy train ends forever. The 28-point peace plan holds things like frozen lines, neutral Ukraine, no NATO ever. The U.S. security guarantees that the deal, that's the deal. The fake news is losing their mind. Trump is giving away to Ukraine. No, morons. He's ending the biggest money laundering operation in modern history. We sent $300+ billion to that country. Where did it go? Yachts in Monaco, mansions in London, and hunters, hookers. Zelensky out there in his little green shirt begging the EU for more cash. Bro, the EU can't even keep their own lights on. They got their own Brexit immigration problems. Trump's playing 40 chess while everyone else is playing checkers with crayons. Type if you think Zelensky signs by Thursday. Type a 1 in the chat if you think Zelensky signs by Thursday. Type a 2 in the chat if you think he drags out until World War III. I think Zelensky's goal is to try to stay in office the rest of Trump's term, pray for a Democratic president so that he can benefit from a global conflict. I'm going to read the super chats out loud as they come in. The next story we're going to discuss is Marjorie Taylor Greene just said, peace out, losers, and resigned effectively January 5th. So we got Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning and $400 million Nancy Pelosi. 5 years in, full pension locked in, and she's torching everybody on the way out. So MTG, what do you not know about MTG resigning? What do you not know about MTG resigning? Well, she's going to get a fat pension because she's fully vested. She's going to get a fat pension because she's fully vested. Doesn't it sound like someone who had signed a prenup? Doesn't it sound like a bitter wife who never loved a rich man who marries her for his money, and after the prenup is fulfilled, she immediately files for divorce? And as a matter of fact, she announces the divorce is going to be finalized on the last day of the contracted agreement, right? Didn't Janet Jackson do that? Didn't Janet Jackson sign a prenup for 5 years with a billionaire, and as soon as those 5 years was up, she filed for divorce? So Marjorie Taylor Greene just said, peace out, losers, and resigned effectively January 5th. 5 years in, pension locked, and she torching everybody on the way out. She went scorched earth on the Epstein file list, HB1 visas, Ukraine money. We're getting Ukraine money. Hunter Biden is getting Ukraine money. Israel A, the whole Uniparty got exposed. Now, the fake MAGA crowd is screaming traitor. Give me a break. You wanted fighters. She was the only one willing to burn the whole thing down. Trump called her a lowlife and said GOP is more united than ever. Translation, the people who were holding back the America First agenda just got self-deported. This is addition by subtraction, folks. MTG is now free to go full nuclear on every podcast, every platform. No rules, no leash. I'm calling it right now. She's about to become the most dangerous woman in media. Chat, you with MTG or you drinking the Trump Kool-Aid on this one? Let me know right now. Put MTG in the chat or put Trump America First. Let's go into more details about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene announces House departure in 42 days. The Georgia Republican, once a strong Trump supporter, accused the White House and Speaker Mike Johnson of sliding members, ignoring voter priorities like housing costs and jobs, and fostering low morale through arrogance and threats. A senior GOP lawmaker echoed this in a text to Punchbowl News, warning of more resignations and risk to their slim 2019-2013 majority amid funding. This does affect the congressional map. MTG I ain't got nothing good to say about her. So then it's going to go to 2018 to 2023, 2013. We still going to have the majority. We still have the congressional math. Don't worry. Nobody else is going to retire. If anybody retires, it's going to be MAGA. Warning of more resignations and risk to their slim 2019-2013 majority. 219 Republicans to 213 Democrats in the House, giving the Republicans the majority. Amid funding deadlines and special elections. See, did you hear that? Even amidst funding deadlines and special elections, the Republicans still held the House. You know, the Democrats invested over billions of dollars in the special election, and they held the government hostage. They took your food stamps for 40 days in the hopes that they would be able to win back the House, and they lost, and they did not get the subsidies for the ACA. Just a reminder. Deadlines, but while some conservatives urge sticking it out to deliver on promises, I agree. Marjorie Taylor Greene was supposed to stay the whole Trump administration to make sure we had the numbers. This means to me you never was truly MAGA. You never truly supported Trump. To leave after months. I wanted to go down in history that Marjorie Taylor Greene retired after 10 months. I don't care about the traitor. I don't care about none of those comments. Like I'm a man. We talking about the Cleveland Browns. We talk about productivity. I wanted to go down in history that she left after 10 months of a 4-year term. She didn't even give him 1 year. I need everybody to understand she did not even give him 1 entire year. That is the honest truth. Don't let the liberal, democratic, socialist left tell you anything else about her feeling bullied. She didn't even give him a year. She didn't even give him a year, and that's unacceptable. This is from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Everyone just runs their mouth, but results are the only thing that matter to the American people. But you're quitting. But you're quitting as you talk about results. Smears, lies, attacks, name-calling is childish behavior, decisive bad for our country, memes, and the red meat rants do nothing. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah, your actions speak very loud, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're quitting, and you're no longer supporting Trump. That tells me a lot. I don't understand the double talk. Actions speak louder than words. You're quitting. You're a quitter. That's all I have, and you quit after 10 months of 4 years. You never even give him a second chance. It's like a bitter wife. The first thing that she sees that she don't like, I want a divorce. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. After 4 years, you give me 10 months, I don't want you. You don't have the ability to support me. You don't have the ability to support me. The best thing you could have did was resign. Thank you to MTG. The best thing you could have did was resign. The best thing you could have did was resign. Oh, man. The best thing you could have did. Do we got video of her? She had to have a speech somewhere. She had to have a speech. Who will retire from Congress in 42 days, announced the end of her House career Friday night in a manifesto of sorts that sounded many people most concerned about the presidency. So she just wrote about it. Let me see. Let's see. Do we got any video? Says she retire. And Nancy Pelosi, they be keeping that quiet too. Who's gonna run for Nancy Pelosi seat? Y'all see the governor race in California? It's sad. It is a sad state of affairs. So we got a lot of Marjorie Taylor Greene resignation, Congress video. And a shocking Friday night announcement. Is they gonna play the video? Here we go.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I just want the highlights, man. I ain't playing the whole. It's like 10 minutes, man.
I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations, and I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, resulting in the House not working for the entire time, and we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas just they all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and shills on social media, obediently serving with cult-like conviction, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single day. It has been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family, but it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the...
But that's what you are. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly the game that she's playing. She's playing battered wife. It's all double talk. It's all content. As she says, the Trump's executive orders, I have bills, and tries to invoke this juxtaposition as if she is better than Trump, but you're not staying. This is a horrible example for Generation Z. This is a horrible example for millennials about how politics is properly done and how you actually fight. Jasmine Crockett did this same thing. Jasmine Crockett got on the plane and flew away. That is not how you do politics. Now she is quitting, and now she wants to have a bully pulpit and use her voice against Trump. This is not. You're playing battered wife. You're actually playing the role.
The president and the MAGA political machine, and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead.
So she's not going to finish out her term. So she's going to go back. She's not going to finish out her term. Now think about this. She's going to get her pension, but she's not going to finish out her term. That's another piece. So she doesn't give Trump the full term. She doesn't give the Georgia people the full term. Who gets what, Mark? Only person benefits in this decision. You have to look at it like an adult. Let's look at it like an adult. I know my audience skews adult. A lot of people just said they're older gentlemen and older women watching. Who benefits from this decision? This is how adult people look at decisions like this. When you make a professional decision like this, number one, you were elected, you were sworn into office, right? So she's going to quit. She's not going to support the Georgia people. So that number one, who benefits most from this decision, right? They're going to be forced to go through a re-election. That's going to cost them money. Do you guys understand the fact that she retires and then she doesn't finish out her full term? That's going to cost them money. They're going to have another election, right? If she retires January 5th, we just had a special election. So who's going to be the interim person? And then now Georgia on an off year now has to re-elect somebody, right? That's going to cost money. So she's costing her constituents money. The only one benefits is her because she gets her 5 years vested and she retires January 5th and she gets her full pension. So who benefits the most? Marjorie Taylor Greene benefits the most from this retirement. If anybody's wondering, that's how adults look at it. Who benefits the most, Marjorie? You benefit the most. Yes, it's extremely very selfish. Right now, we're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. We started off today talking about Trump and the peace agreement, and that was Marjorie Taylor Greene right there giving her speech about why she's leaving. So Marjorie Taylor Greene released an official video November 21st announcing her resignation from Congress effective January 5th. The near 11-minute clip filmed at her Georgia home with the Christmas tree in the background went viral across social media and news outlets. In it, she She talks bad about the Republican Party, House leadership, and Trump, calling their feud like being a battered wife. We just saw the political industry, the political industrial complex is what she referenced. In issues like Epstein files, HB1 visas, and foreign aid, positioning her exit as a principled stand for true American values. Are you with Marjorie Taylor Greene? Are you with Trump? Are you with Marjorie Taylor Greene or are you with Trump? I'm going to tell you right now, I stand tall and strong with Trump and MAGA. I can't stand people running away from the fight. I can't stand people running away from the fight. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a complete letdown. Marjorie Taylor Greene just said, peace out, losers, and resigned effectively January 5th, 5 years into her 5 years in, full pension locked, and she has tortured everybody on the way out. She went scorched earth on the Epstein list, HB1 visas, Ukraine money, Israel aid. The whole Uniparty got exposed. Now the fake MAGA crowd is screaming, traitor, give me a break. You wanted fighters. She was the only one one willing to burn the whole thing down. Do you agree? Trump called her a lowlife and said the GOP is more united than ever. Transition. The people who were holding back the America First agenda just got self-deported. This is an addition by subtraction, folks. MTG is now free. She can go nuclear on every podcast, every platform, no rules, no leash. I'm calling it right now. She is about to become one of the most dangerous women in media. Chat, are you with MTG or are you with Donald Trump? Y'all gotta let me know right now. You with MTG, and double tap, hit the like button, vote in the poll, get our goal of gifts up, Let me know right now where y'all stand. Where y'all stand? Y'all with me or y'all with MTG? She wrote an official statement. I'm with Trump on this one. She's gonna let me down. MTG, she didn't let me down, man. I'm with Trump on this one, man. I'm with Trump on this one, man. With this entire White House, this is just a clip of what she wrote. Let's take a look. House one particularly exercised senior House Republican. This entire White House team has treated all members like garbage, all. And Mike Johnson has let it happen. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because he wanted it to happen. This is the sentiment of nearly all appropriators, authorizers, hawks, doves, rank and file. The arrogance of this White House team is off-putting to members who are run roughshod and threatened. They don't even allow little wins like announcing small grants or even responding from agencies, not even the high profile. This is her whining. Somebody said MTG all the way. Don't want to get deported. Terry said Trump. The regular rank and file random members are most upset than ever. Members know they are going into the minority after the midterms. More explosive early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel and they will lose the majority before this term. This sound like a bitter wife to me. What y'all think? I think the House, they had their chance. They spent millions of dollars. They spent millions of dollars on the special election. You know what I'm saying? They spent millions of dollars on a special election. Let's see if we get video of Trump responding. They spent millions of dollars on a special election and still didn't win. And then they shut down the government for 43 days and did not get the subsidies. They shut down the government for 43 days and did not get the subsidies. Now MTG, after that major victory, wants to retire on January 5th. It's a letdown, MTG. I hope you don't think that you're gonna be able to come back. You know what I'm saying? I hope you don't think that you're gonna be able to come back after this. I hope she don't think she's gonna get to be in the politics after this. Because you're not gonna be in politics after this.
I know that before you had
Let's see what Trump got to say about this MTG thing.
I know that before you had a fight with Elon Musk and you guys were able to work it out.
No, I get along with everybody.
We see the same thing happening between you and Congresswoman.
Sure, why not? I mean, I get along with everybody.
Are you willing to forgive Congresswoman Taylor Greene?
Forgive for what? No, I just disagreed with her philosophy. She started backing perhaps the worst Republican congressman in our history, just stupid person named Massey. And I said, go your own way. And once I left her, she resigned because she would never have survived the primary. But I think she's a nice person. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's the reality. That was Trump. That was Trump on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Basically, that she was going to get primary just like Chuck Schumer. This is the truth coming out. She would not survive the primary because of supporting Massey. So it's not that she's retiring because she's a battered wife. It's that your politics are not up to par and MAGA is not on board no more with MTG.
Congresswoman Taylor Greene, I know that before you...
President Trump says Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is a nice person when asked about the Republican Congresswoman shock about resignation. Let's get into
had a fight with Elon Musk and you guys were able to work it out.
No, I get along with everybody.
We see the same thing happening between you and Congresswoman.
Sure, why not? I mean, I get along with everybody.
Are you willing to forgive Congresswoman Taylor Greene?
Forgive for what? No, I just disagreed with her philosophy. She started back in perhaps the worst Republican congressman in our history. Just stupid person named Massey. And I said, go your own way. And once I left her, she resigned because she would never have survived the primary. But I think she's a nice person. Okay, thank you.
She would never survive a primary. That was Donald Trump replying to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I believe she left because she would not survive a primary. That's Donald Trump on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Zelensky got 72 hours. Zelensky got 72 hours or Donald Trump is stopping all aid. Now, what Zelensky said to the France, it's funny what came out, the news that came out about France. Isn't it funny what we're learning about France here in correlation to global geopolitics? Like how many people knew France was this type of player in geopolitics? So when Macron first got the 28-point peace plan from Trump, and Jared Kushner helped design a 28-point peace plan. When he first got it, he's been saying no deal to the 28-point peace plan, and then he went and sought to get backing from the rest of the EU. One of the people who he got most support from was the French President Macron. Macron said that Ukraine had to be first in any deal. So as I listened to Macron and the French president, now you guys recall the French president was recently here in meeting with President Trump, where they talking about the Ukraine peace agreements when Macron was here, when he met with Trump. I didn't know that the French were such a factor in geopolitics, but it does bring up the fact of NATO. Earlier, I was bringing to you the foundation of the conflict in the Ukraine and how Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was behind the conflict in the Ukraine. I laid to you the foundation about Joe Biden in 2014 with Burisma and his son, Hunter Biden. We discussed that. Then we discussed Kamala Harris while she was vice president, having a speech. Let me bring that up. Kamala Harris going to the Ukraine and talking about the Ukraine becoming part of NATO. And I believe, I allege that was the coffin in the nail. Kamala Harris speech, let me say, when VP about Ukraine. If you recall, when I laid the foundation before Zelensky, the current president, who happened to be a TV show president and a comedian before 2014, that gets left out a lot. We had a pro-Russia president, and one of the agreements was that we would never be part of Ukraine would never be part of NATO. Now, this is very important because a lot of reasons. Now, one of the things I reported when Donald Trump became president, he had a meeting with NATO. And last week, I actually showed the video where he said, I've made NATO pay more money. Does anybody remember when Donald Trump said to NATO that the United States would leave NATO if they didn't start paying their fair share? This is very different than the Biden administration, who, when Biden became president, immediately went back into the Paris Accords, immediately went back into favorability with NATO and overextending the American America itself in all these geopolitical areas. But Trump, when he came into office, America first, MAGA, MAGA, America first, and he told NATO America would leave NATO if they didn't start putting up or shutting up. So I just want to say to Macron and France, if you don't like the 28-point peace plan, Macron, then you go fight the Ukraine war. You so close, you closer than us. As Vice President, Kamala Harris frequently asked Ukraine's, listen to this. This is what I allege. Now, don't forget, I already laid a foundation in 2014 with Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden, and they took out the pro-Russia president and put in a pro-NATO, pro-US president in the form of Zelensky, a comedian and a TV show host. I already laid that foundation down. Not only did Barack Obama and Joe Biden install Zelensky, but they helped proliferate the Nazis by exacerbating the Azov battalion from 300 members to 3,000 under Joe Biden, under Barack Obama. The neo-Nazis were trained and made to be part of the Ukrainian army. This all happened under Biden and Barack Obama, and Biden was head of U.S. policy in the Ukraine during the Nazi proliferation. Everybody write down these notes. That what happened in 2014. That's how we got here. Now listen, what was the nail in the coffin was your border czar. But this was the wrong border, Kamala, which is why you're not president. The nail in the coffin was your border czar. As vice president, Kamala Harris frequently addressed Ukraine NATO membership ambitions, especially amid Russia's 2022 invasion and ongoing support efforts. Her remarks emphasized U.S. recognition of Ukraine's right and desire to join NATO. Do you guys remember this? While stressing alliance, unity, deterrence against Russia. If Kamala Harris and the Democrats were allowed to be in power, we would be in World War III. And they won't tell you the truth about how we got here and how we get to peace. We would not be in peace talks right now if Kamala Harris was your president, because Kamala Harris said over and over the Ukraine deserves and has a desire and need to be in NATO. And the only way we get to peace is if we agree that the Ukraine can never, ever be in NATO. While stressing alliance, unity, and deterrence against Russia and open door policy without committing to immediate accession, aligning with NATO's 2008 Bucharest summit pledge, these were often delivered at high-profile venues like the Munich Security Conference. This is Kamala Harris at the Munich Security. This is the Democrats. This is America under the Democrats. At the Munich Security Conference, where she warned of invasion risk and riled allies. Kamala Harris was not president. She was supposed to be securing the American border between America and Mexico and South America, Latin America. She didn't do that. Instead, we learned Kamala Harris was in Munich talking about invasion and riling allies to start World War III, probably thinking she would be president and get all of the valor and glory, because the Democrats love blood and death. Harris' tone was consistently supportive of the Ukraine sovereignty, but cautious of timelines, framing NATO expansion as a bulwark against Russia aggression. So listen, you got to understand geopolitics, where we are and where we were. Where we are and where we were. The Democrats and Kamala, who was not president, said that Ukraine being part of NATO was a bulwark, like it was a Cold War. Do you remember about the Cold War and Russia proliferation? Remember the Russia hoax and Russia and Biden, Russia and Trump and Russia working with Trump and all this bullshit? Y'all remember? And it turned out to be a lie. That's why James Comey needs to be prosecuted. It turned out to be a lie. The dossier turned out to be fake. You know what wasn't fake? The Hunter Biden laptop. You know what wasn't fake? The cocaine that they found in the White House under the Biden administration. You never found cocaine in the White House when Trump was president. Nobody ever cheated on their wife when Trump was president, but Bill Clinton cheated on his wife in the White House. Biden, coke in the White House. Harris, supposed to be the border czar, but Kamala Harris is in Munich talking about NATO and the Ukraine, knowing it was a deal breaker for Putin. Did I leave that out? Did I leave that out? When shout out to La Vista, when Kamala Harris is doing this, they knew it was a deal breaker for Putin. So can we argue that Kamala and Biden pushed Putin and created this war? Who would say that in the chat? I said that when Kamala was in the Munich Security Conference, riling up the allies, saying that the Ukraine has desires and a right to be part of NATO, they knew it was a deal breaker for Putin. So what does that mean mathematically? If we talk about 4D chess, what does it mean mathematically if Biden and Harris knew it was a deal breaker for Ukraine to be part of NATO? Who will be honest enough in the chat? Who will be honest enough in the chat? Harris' tone was consistently supportive of NATO's sovereignty. Do you hear this? Harris' tone was consistently supportive of Ukraine's sovereignty, framing NATO expansion. Listen to this. Framing NATO expansion. This is the one thing Putin wanted. It's sick when you hear the trolls. This is the one thing Putin wanted. Kamala Harris framed NATO expansion as a bulwark against Russian aggression. Do you understand? February 19th, 2022. This is Kamala Harris' speech to the Munich Security Council. We stand with the people of Ukraine in defense of principles that unite democracies throughout the world. Ukraine has the right to choose its own security arrangements, including membership in the European Union and NATO. You cannot make this up. Double tap hit the like button. Double tap hit the like button. You cannot make this up. When we talk about a 28-point peace plan, and we talk about the number one pieces of the 28-point peace plan that's been given, and Putin has signaled that he will sign the 28-point peace plan. The 28-point peace plan says that the Ukraine will never be part of NATO. That's all Putin wanted from the beginning. I'm going to ask a favor to everybody watching right now. If you're being educated and you're benefiting from the podcast, I'm going to ask that you double tap the cell phone screen and hit the like button. And I'm going to say thank you in advance to everyone who hits the like button right now. I'm going to say thank you in advance. Let's go, brownies. Let's go, brownies. We are talking about a foundation. We are talking about a foundation. February 19th, 2022. Kamala Harris speech. These are pre-invasion context and why relevant. Because this was the nail in the coffin. This was the one thing Putin asked for, that they not become part of NATO. So it's very relevant. February 19, 2022. We stand with the people of Ukraine in defense of the principles that unite democracies throughout the world. She should have been at the Mexico border, securing the border, making sure jobs were secure, making sure those families didn't get split up. What about the families that got split up, Kamala? Instead, she's in Ukraine giving this speech. We stand with the people in Ukraine in defense of principles that unite democracies throughout the world. The Ukraine has the right to choose its own security arrangements, including membership in the European Union and NATO. Bam! World War III deal breaker. Why this is important. Pre-invasion warning. Harris affirmed Ukraine's NATO path as a red line for Russia, pledging ironclad Article 5 commitment. The speech went viral for predicting the invasion. This caused the invasion. This speech didn't predict the invasion. This speech caused the invasion. February 18th, 2022, the day before, Munich Security Conference, reporter Q&A. On the question of NATO membership for the Ukraine, we recognize the Ukraine's desire to be part of NATO, and we support that aspiration. Response to Zelensky's doubts on alliance sincerity. Direct reaction to Zelensky's pointed criticism emphasized U.S. resolve amid escalating tensions. March 10th, 2022, joint press conference with Polish President. The United States is prepared to defend every inch of NATO territory. We reaffirm Ukraine's right to choose its own future, including its aspirations to join NATO. I mean, at some point, we got to be honest about what was happening in 2022. Did you know this was your Democratic Party? At some point, we have to be honest about what Kamala was doing. See, they want to focus on black woman president. They don't want to focus on her politics. What did she actually do? What is the shitstorm she caused? Can we be honest? She's poking the bear. Why over and over, instead of focusing on politics at home, why is Kamala Harris in Europe when America was in recovery? Why in 2022 we are fresh in recovery? Can we be honest about the time frame, the context? America is in recovery. We are post-quarantine. It's 2022. It's not 2026. Why is Biden administration, why is Kamala Harris in Europe? Why are they not focused on American jobs? Why are they not focused on American recovery? Why are they focused on creating a global geopolitical shitstorm? Why is she in Munich? Why is she in Europe? Why is she talking about proliferating NATO when we are in recovery? We don't have the bandwidth to have a NATO fight, Kamala. It's 2022. Why is Kamala and Biden having NATO proliferation talks? For all the ignorant people that want to say, well, they can do that. They can do that. No, it's post-quarantine. It's post-quarantine. Remember the Recovery Act, the Reform Act? They forget all of this. This is the context. This is the contextual discussion that the idiots leave out. She should not have been in Munich. In Munich, she should not have been talking about NATO proliferation. Imagine how you would feel. Imagine how you would feel. Everyone just got out of quarantine, vaccination. People, we lost grandmothers. We lost mothers. Children lost graduations. They lost years of life. Why is she in fucking Munich? No one talks about her politics. We only can talk about her being black. Why can we only talk about her being black? Please, somebody tell me. Why do we have to look at everything through a racial lens? Why can't we look at her politics? Just a question. I just want to know, why can't we look at her politics? February 17th, 2023. Ukraine will continually to be supported by a united transatlantic community. The NATO alliance is stronger now than ever. Do you hear this shit? The NATO alliance is stronger now than ever before, and the United States commitment to NATO and its Article 5 is ironclad. Implied ongoing support for Ukraine's NATO path via multilateral aid. 1 year invasion mark. Reflected on pre-war unity, noting Putin failed to divide NATO over Ukraine. Listen, in March 2022, post-invasion solidarity visit tied NATO support to humanitarian aid. 53 million announced, 300 billion in total. So before the invasion, Kamala and the Biden administration is poking the bear. The one thing Putin wanted was them not to join NATO, and she's over there talking about membership to the EU and joining NATO. Now, yesterday in my podcast, I played a video from a young lady, and I said to my audience, I said, do you hear what this young lady said? I played a video from a young lady, and she said that the Ukraine, her response to the 21 point plan is Israel. The Ukraine peace plan is 28 point. Her response was, the Ukraine for Ukraine is like Europe for Europe. And I said, that's her being part of NATO. The Ukraine still wants to be part of NATO. That's why they don't want to sign the 28-point deal. Do you know if the Democrats were in power, we would not have no peace? Now, what else she said was she wants the weapons to compel Russia to leave the Ukraine alone. I said Russia is a nuclear power. I said Russia is a nuclear power. The only weapons that will compel Russia to not invade the Ukraine is if we give the Ukraine nukes. And what was the discussion? The discussion was Ukraine becoming part of NATO. Now, why did Putin not want Ukraine to be part of NATO? Putin didn't want Ukraine to be part of NATO because he didn't want missiles. He didn't want an army base in the Ukraine, because if the Ukraine becomes part of NATO, then you get a missile base right up against the Russian border. And Putin said that's a non-starter for him. This was always about getting the missile base in the Ukraine. And Putin said he's not going to allow it. He would go to World War III. And now we know he's not lying. He always said the Ukraine can't be part of NATO because if they become part of NATO, NATO would try to sneak in nuclear missiles into the Ukraine and try to bully Russia about what it can and can't do with its border. Does everybody understand that this is Russia's border? Does everybody understand that this is Russia's border right now? Huh? Does everybody? This is not your border. This is not the border of America. This is Russia's border. Ukraine is bordered up against Russia. So imagine someone coming to us and saying, imagine China going to Mexico and saying, hey, look, Mexico gonna be communist and Mexico gonna be part of China. And because Mexico's part of China now, we're gonna put a Chinese base in Mexico. So we're gonna have Chinese soldiers and we might sneak in some missiles. America would say we're going to war. America would never allow China to come and say, because it's our border. You understand? America would never allow China to come to Mexico and put Chinese armed forces. But we ain't even going to discuss how many Chinese came across the border during the open border. We're not allowed to talk about that because the Democrats want you to believe only Mexicans came across during the open border. The Democrats don't want to talk about the people on the freeways who keep killing people. The Democrats don't want to talk about when the Chinese who came across the open border. They want you to focus on Latinos and Mexicans because then they want protests in the streets. And then they want people to divide Americans by saying certain people don't like Mexicans and certain people don't like Latinos. But the border crisis had nothing to do with Mexicans. This is the sick and sad part of the Democratic media. Everybody think Mexicans are not happy. Well, Mexicans have a great life, have a great economy. They're one of the fastest growing minorities in a lot of metrics. So I think it's almost racist when the Democrats turn this into some type of Latino, Mexican, American racial dispute, because it has nothing to do with that. There were not Mexicans running across the open border. It was South Americans from Venezuela, and there were a lot of Chinese, there were a lot of Indian, Sikh, Afghani, a lot of people. When we saw those videos of people coming across, people assumed, but remember, South Americans, poor countries in South America. Remember, Kamala Harris said, don't come. We saw people thousands of miles. Well, Mexico's not far away. You don't have to have a caravan for thousands of miles from Mexico, right? Mexico's right there. So where were they coming from? Did anybody ever dive deep into what happened during the open border saga when all of these people kept coming across and we kept hearing about caravans? One of the things Trump and MAGA asked is, who is paying for the water? Who's paying for the gas? Who's paying for the coyotes? Who is paying for these caravans? It is not free to get all these people here. It costs a lot of money. When our children go to school, they will learn about how this debacle and how this illegal thing happened that helped destroy our country. Because our children will learn about the people behind the dollars that made that migration happen. Because our children will be intelligent enough to know that that type of migration is not free and not easy. It cost a lot of money to move 10 million people across that Texas-American border. It cost a lot of money in water and clothes and bathrooms and gas and oil. Now, what was the problem? When they got here, there was no processing center. For all the new people watching, you know what happened on the border? See, Kamala Harris in 2022 was in Munich trying to start World War III. You know what they should have been doing? Building processing centers like Ellis Island. Does everybody understand? America knows how to do mass immigration. We did mass immigration before. When did we do mass immigration? Well, remember The Godfather? Remember Statue of Liberty? Remember Give Me Your Tired, You're Downtrodden in New York City? Yes, America knows how to do mass immigration. You know how you do mass immigration? You have a processing facility. Why do you have a processing facility? So that families don't get separated. You know, little kids get separated from moms. Pregnant women have babies and no one knows where their babies go. Fathers get separated from family. Why? There was no processing facility. There was no hospital for the sick people. There was no hospital for the sick children. There was no hospital for the elderly. There was no hospital for the pregnant women. There was nothing. There was just an open border. And then Biden gave out bottles of water. That's how you got families being broken up. That's how families got broken up. That's how families got broken up. But during Ellis Island, Statue of Liberty in New York, when we did mass immigration, Ellis Island, see, a lot of people don't know what Ellis Island is. You go see the Statue of Liberty, but you don't know American history. See, we needed people to work in America. So we designed mass immigration. We did the logistics, project management. I'm a project manager by trade. So everyone had to enter the country through one place. And then they had to go through Ellis Island and get processed. There were doctors there. There were police officers there. There were everybody to process because we wanted the immigrants. But see, we want the good ones. So if you were sick, like Vito Corleone, because they had a smallpox epidemic. Now, keep in mind, they opened the borders when we're fresh out of quarantine and we're coming out of an epidemic. We're literally coming out of an epidemic. It's not the right. We never discussed that. It was the most horrible time to open the borders. But during Ellis Island and Vito Corleone, they opened the borders and then they processed people, and Vito Corleone had got put in quarantine because there was a smallpox epidemic. Now, why did they put Vito Corleone in quarantine? They didn't want the smallpox to proliferate amongst the American population. We want the immigrants, but we want healthy immigrants, right? So we have a processing facility, and this is going to benefit the immigrants and Americans because the immigrants are going to get healthy. We have health care. In the processing facility, Vito Corleone got to see a doctor. So then he got medicine for the smallpox. And before he was released into New York City to become an American citizen, he had already got Social Security. He had already been processed to be part of America. Do you guys understand? America knows how to do mass immigration. The sick and sad part of this whole story is they never explained to you that we know how to do mass immigration. There was a right way and a wrong way. I know Vito Corleone is a fictional character, but the story is not fictional. There was a processing facility called Ellis Island, and millions of people. It is a rich, proud part of American history. It is such a rich and proud part of American history that we have something called the Statue of Liberty to remind us of this time that was gifted by France. We have the Statue of Liberty to remind us. It was a beacon to remind us of what America stood for at once upon a time and what we did and how we did mass immigration correctly. Tammy said, my Irish and Swedish great grandparents went through. See, it benefited the immigrants and allowed immigration to truly benefit America, right? Because the goal was the immigrant labor. You understand? This was the goal. Immigrant labor. But Kamala Harris and Joe Biden did it incorrectly. And when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden did it incorrectly, people died. Children died. Children went missing. Families were separated. Now, if you think about the dynamics I just presented to you, are you not surprised? Because now I'm painting a picture. That's my job. That's why I'm the host. I'm painting a picture of what transpired at the border. Yeah, people crossed the border and there was no support team. There was nothing there but dirt. Families crossed the border and there was no support team. Families crossed the border and there was no doctors. There were no bathrooms. There were no schools. That is why we have what is known as the border crisis. It's because if you love humans, this is the sick part about Democrats. This is why I do not like Democrats. I do not like Democratic trolls. Because just like we found last week, you don't care about the victims. You don't care about immigrants. I can honestly say the Democrats does not give a fuck about immigrants. Why do I say that? Because they had no resources. They allow families to die. They allow families to be split up and torn apart because the Democrats did mass immigration without proper project management and logistics. How can you tell me you care about immigrants and you don't have anything for them when they get here? I can't believe that you believe that they care about you. You ask somebody who came across in 2023 and 2024, do you feel like the Democrats cared about you when you got here? And there was no processing facility. There were no doctors. There were no lawyers. There were no schools. There was nothing for them when they got here. There was nothing for those people when they got here. That is what is truly evil about the Democrats and their open border policies. That is a fact, Jack. Okay, let's get our last story. And that is James Comey and Letitia James think they got away smooth. James Comey and Letitia James think they got away smooth. James Comey and Letitia James think they got away smooth. Judge dismisses indictments against Comey and James over appointment flaw. U.S. District Judge Cameron McGowan Curry ruled that Attorney General Pam Bondi's appointment of interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan violated federal statute and the Constitution Appointments Clause. This voided indictments against former FBI Director James Comey for alleged false statements and obstruction, and against New York AG Letitia James for bank fraud tied to a home loan. The dismissals are without prejudice, allowing potential refiling through. Did you hear that? Because there are a lot of Democrat social media outlets who are reporting different. Let me read that to you again. These dismissals are without prejudice, allowing potential refiling. I said they should not dance. They should not celebrate. You hear a lot of Democrats saying that they got dismissed with prejudice. That is not true. They can bring these cases back. Though Comey's team cites possible statute of limitation issues, the cases tested new Justice Department approach amid divided views on their merits. A federal judge has thrown out criminal indictment of James Comey, ruling that the Trump-installed prosecutor Lindsay Halligan was illegally appointed and had no lawful authority to bring the case.
Love you, Mama. Okay.
Let me get to this story. Bye, baby. She didn't even come say hi to me. Hey, baby.
Mom, Mom was here already, but you missed.
Okay, I love you too. Okay.
Dad,
Yeah.
can I have your phone?
I'm not done. When I'm done, I'll give it to you. We're gonna go for a walk.
I know, but my tummy's hurting.
Okay, you gotta wait 5 seconds. All right, go ahead. You enjoy your lunch? You enjoy your lunch? Okay. I'm almost done.
We got pretzels.
Pretzels? Oh, that sounds good.
And
All right.
pancakes.
And pancakes? That's not lunch. Mommy hooked y'all up. Okay. You gonna stay in here? Okay. You gotta close the door. Go check on Bubba. Go ahead, go check on Bubba. Close the door. Did y'all hit the like button? Did y'all hit the like button? I just read that statute of limitations. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Is the proof in your room with you? Where is the proof? Why do you need proof? It's a podcast. I give a lot of facts. 2 hours I've been giving straight facts. It's not enough for you. You could go for somewhere else because all we do here is give facts. 2 hours I've been giving straight facts. It's not enough for him. It's like a woman. Well, when will it be enough for some people? Just like a woman. All right, let's get this last story. Segment 3, Comey and Letitia walk free. Deep state still alive. Third body of the week. We got your bodies all week. Body on body on body. Mega magnificent Monday. Double tap at the like button. Perfect time of podcast back with the blast. Mega magnificent Monday coming in with the last body of the day, but we getting it done. Double tap at the like button. Double tap at the like button. Double tap. He was asking me for proof. Okay, he could watch. He don't need to be here. Come in. He could be here. He could, cause sometimes it ain't worth it, Terry. It ain't worth it, Terry. It ain't worth it, Terry. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It be tactics that they be using. Tammy Wilkinson with the $20. It's all true facts. Heard. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for the super chat, man. Y'all do like Tammy and go ahead and donate that $20. Hit the super chat. Thank you so much. Hopefully you a member and a subscriber. Shout out to you. I should give you a wrench for that. Let's get into this, man. Third body of the week, federal judge just tossed the indictments on James Comey and Letitia James. Reason, Trump's prosecutor Lindsay Halligan never got Senate confirmed. Technicality city. The left is celebrating like they won the Super Bowl. Shout out to the Brownies. Shout out to Shula Sanders. And the 49ers play Monday Night Football tonight. You know I'm a Niner fan. I'm going to be wearing my 49ers shirts tomorrow because we're the 49ers. But let me get back to the story. Federal judge just tossed the indictments on James Comey and Letitia James. Reason, the prosecutor Lindsay Halligan never got Senate confirmed. Technicality city. The left is celebrating like they just won the Super Bowl. Here is the based content of the day. This is actually good for us long term. It forces Trump to clean house right. Senate confirmed killers who can't be stopped by some Obama judge. Comey's statute of limitations just expired anyway. Dude is skating forever. Somebody just put that in the chat. Letitia James is back to lawfare full time. But mark my words, round 2 is coming, and this time is going to be biblical. Pam Bondi is about to walk in with her flamethrower. The deep state thinks they won a battle. They have no idea the war just started. Connect the dots, people. 72 hours, 3 massive story, 3 massive wins disguised as losses. Trump is draining the swamp before he even takes takes even any issue. Zelensky is on the ropes. The Uniparty just lost one of its loudest fighters on our terms, and the deep state judges just showed their hand. This is what winning looks like when you've been in the fight for 9 years straight. The fake conservatives are crying, the libs are coping and seething, and we're just getting started, baby. Super chat lightning round call to action. All right, legends, super chats are popping. Let's go. Get the super chats going. React hard. Give out the shout outs. Thank you to Tammy. Thank you to Terry. Thank you to everybody. If you're not subscribed, fix that right now. If you're not on Rumble as a backup, go over there right now. We're building an uncancelable media empire on the base at the Best Base Podcast. Drop a 1776 in the chat if you're still here and you're still fighting. I love every single one of you savages. We will be back tomorrow, same time, more bodies, MAGA magnificent. God bless you all. God bless Trump. God bless United States. We out.
Are you going?
I'm done.
What?